And welcome back to Lobster Roll 2019. I am the CAC, being joined by the awesome
Scar Trek,
along with our awesome producer, Beautiful Banshee. We are back here, so I have a little bit of a time delay. We're just getting all the information sent over to us. But right now, we're going to be introducing you to our two teams come up here, Naptown and Dublin Derby. Scar Trek, who do we got rocking Naptown?
Right, number 28 ranked Naptown Tornado Sirens wearing black for the game today. Number 00 Roulette Wheels, number 07 Chariot of Fire, number 123 Diamond, 16 Crash Into You, 237 Scorpiopathic, 262 Langer, number 312 Emily Udell, number 5 True Debauchery, number 51 Micah, 669 Teeth, 7 Dora the Destroyer, 76 Will Smith, 808 Boomsday, 84 Wham Bam, 856 Iggy Impalia, and 934 Black Eyed Sue. And they started this game on us, CAC.
Yeah, and we're going to get right into the action right now. Thea is your lead jam on behalf of Dublin. Will Smith is rocking the star for Naptown. Thea coming around as we're approaching into turn number 1. Already finished our lap, getting locked in. And that is with number 5, True Debauchery.
Right, Will Smith pushing at the front wall of Dublin, working on the initial pass still for Naptown. And it looks like Thea already picking up points on this scoring pass for Dublin. Will Smith just one to beat in the front. That's number 95, Maniha. Able to make it through on the initial pass for Naptown.
Yeah, right now, Malibu Stacy now heading to the penalty box.
Thea makes it around. Another 3 points picked up for Dublin. Looks like that was the only 3 points Dublin picked up in that jam. So it's 3-0 as we finish up jam number 1.
And I will do a quick rundown of Dublin. Number 047, AK. Number 123, Maria Von Slap. Number 16, Gemerald. Number 169, Brutal E. Lowcock. Number 17, Dirty Knees Louise. Number 23, Greenhall Cooney. Number 3, Valdemort. Number 490, Malibu Stacy. Number 53, RG Bargy. Number 575, Pippa. Number 74, Staba. Number 8, Chancleta. Number 800, Thea. Number 83, Dash and Trudy Snow. Number 90, Lana Payne. And number 95, Maniha.
Scorpiopathic taking the star for Naptown. Already lead jammer status established in our second jam of the game. She's up against Dashing Trudy Snow. Quickly into the pack for points and calls off the jam with 2 points, the pickup for Naptown. So answering Dublin with a 2-point pickup in the second jam, 2-3 on the scoreboard in favor of Dublin.
And we're expecting some big play action right now. Now, Naptown already coming in with successful wins over Houston, 135-102, over Sacramento, 234-116, and a surprise right over Boston, 119-109, a very close game earlier this morning.
That's right, both of these teams have already played once today. Diamond taking the star for Naptown. A nice move up the outside line to pick up lead jammer status. And Thea with, no, that's, who is that with the star for Dublin there?
That'd be number 16.
Gemerald.
Gemerald, yep.
So Diamond back into the pack for points, but Gemerald putting some pressure on there. Looks like we have a forearm called. Waiting to see who heads to the penalty box. Yeah, it looks like that's Diamond in the penalty box as the jammer for Naptown. So a power start here for Dublin.
And that's going to be started by Greenhall Cooney, who ran a majority of the power starts earlier today for Dublin. And now Dublin coming in, having some awesome games as well this weekend. Went over Houston 197-120, but then came up a little short against Boston, 192-156. And then earlier, another close game, Sacramento toppling them, 165-163.
Greenhall Cooney, lead jammer status established on the power start for Dublin. Number 262 from the Naptown Tornado Sirens, Langer playing in the back wall. Green able to make it through. Scoring pass picked up for Dublin on the power jam. Diamond standing in the box now for Naptown.
Greenhall already now making an engagement with the pack of Naptown, who's in the front of the pack, right at the pivot line. Diamond now coming in, plays Red Rover through the dead center of Dublin. Able to find that opening on the outside, coming around, is now going to work her scoring pass.
Yeah, a lot of people remember Diamond from the first game yesterday, a big scoring force for Naptown. Took the second game off yesterday evening, came back today first thing this morning in the game against Houston with a lot of success in the jammer rotation for Naptown, and she's back here. So 3 out of 4 games ain't bad this weekend.
Yeah, she's looking very fierce, and it's showing off. Here it is, calling, like forcing Greenhall to call off that jam, 11-4. Now brought up to the line, we got Thea going against number 76, Will Smith.
Yeah, that was our MVP from this morning's game for Naptown. Dublin with defense set up in the back. Will Smith, though, finds the inside lane open. Lead jammer status established for the Tornado Sirens.
Thea pushing through the pack of Naptown, turn number 2, able to tippy toe and reapplying that star on her helmet.
Will Smith takes a knock to the inside line, hits her knees, and decides to call that jam off with Thea coming around for points. Looks like 4 points were picked up by Naptown on that jam, closing the gap a little bit, so 8-11 in favor of Dublin on the scoreboard as we head into jam number 6.
And quick shout out to our main sponsor here for today, New England Roller Derby Report. I'd like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath, SEWCIOPATH. Stick around, I'm going to tell you some awesome stuff about Sociopath.
You're a big fan.
Oh, yes, because I love clothing. Can't you tell?
Scorpiopathic taking the star for Naptown up against Dashing Trudy Snow for Dublin.
Dashing Trudy Snow having a viral video shot of her actually dashing through the snows of Boston. And they're not used to snow up here.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. I guess I just assumed there was snow in Ireland. I guess not.
It's green all year round.
So Scorpiopathic, lead jammer status for Naptown, coming around for points as Dashing Trudy Snow trying to get a star pass off there. Looks like the pivot from Dublin has the star in hand, making it out of the pack. And Scorpiopathic calls the jam from her back. Took a big hit there at the end, but 3 points added to Naptown's score. That's going to bring us to a tie game, 11-11, coming into jam number 7.
So Emily Udo going to the box there, looked like for a draw cut, but now coming back up is going to be Roulette Wheels 00 for Naptown. And I do believe that is Gemerald number 16 for Dublin.
Just one blocker in the box for Naptown, so a little pack advantage at the start for Dublin. Roulette Wheels working on the back wall of Dublin defense, while Gemerald pushing on the front 2 wall of Naptown with a 1 bridging to keep their teammates in play there. Lead jammer status going to Dublin in this one. Gemerald coming around on a scoring pass.
And now Naptown losing their pivot to the box. That's going to be 2 blockers in for Naptown.
Gemerald through for points, 4 going up on the board for Dublin.
And another blocker for Naptown also going to the box. Very penalty heavy so far early for Naptown.
Gemerald comes around on another scoring pass for Dublin. Meets up with number 669. That's Teeth at the front of the pack. Able to stop Gemerald for a little bit, but 4 more points ultimately going up for Dublin. That was an 8-0 jam in favor of the Dublin All-Stars.
We're going to probably see more of this seesaw action here, Dublin versus Naptown. And I was talking earlier about Sociopath. It is a skater-run business offering custom sewn to order legwears for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath offers dozens of armbands, helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition.
Will Smith taking the star for Naptown Tornado Sirens, pushing to the back wall of Dublin defense, but that's Green Halcooney with lead jammer status for Dublin.
And Will Smith trying to dig on the outside. That pack get rotated around. Pivot for Dublin, locking in with number 575, Pippa.
It's Pippa's, no, it's Staba's birthday.
Yes, it is. It's Staba's. Oh, you blew the spot.
Did I let the cat out of the bag?
Oh, yeah, and it's quite the cat, the crazy cat. Staba, number 74. Happy birthday to you, lass.
So Dublin loses a couple of blockers to the penalty box in this jam. Just 2 out there on defense right now.
Yeah, Will Smith and Green Halcooney playing a little bit of a JVJ action. Will Smith getting by, and Greenhill's like, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to shut this jam down. I'll see you next time around, Will Smith.
So Dublin opening up a little bit of a lead with 4 more points going up, 23-11 in favor of our friends from across the pond. 21 minutes left to the play in the first half. And that's Scorpiopathic taking the star for Naptown in the next jam up against Thea for Dublin.
If anything, I would say this is a match for match. Both these jammers here have the same build and the same style of jamming.
But it's Scorpiopathic picking up lead for Naptown.
great defense. And, of course, right in there, the switch up as number 8, Chancla, to get into the mix of Naptown, trying to break up that pack to get Thea through.
Nice big hits at the back of the pack for Scorpiopathic.
Thea finally coming around with that scoring pass. Now get into that pack. Gets through the center. Now it's Bruley Lowcock that actually got that star pass.
And a nice hit at the front of the pack, but Scorpiopathic able to stay inbounds. Picks up 2 more points because she had taken the star off of her helmet, so only a partial pass, partial credit for that pass, as she came through the pack with the star in hand.
And that's going to be tough because Bruley Lowcock had passed through and picked up 4 points. But now Lowcock going to the box with a track cut. Power jam to Naptown. Chance to reclaim those points they had lost.
Yeah, exactly. There's 10 points between the two teams right now. Scorpiopathic coming around for another scoring pass with Lowcock sitting in the penalty box right now. Some nice offensive help by teammate Micah.
Yeah, and these are the first points for Naptown in 2 jams since jam number 6.
Scorpiopathic takes a bump to the inside. It's number 8, Chancletta, with the drawback.
Chancletta is another one of those very smart but very fierce blockers. Oh, and then gets called with the penalty.
Yeah, that's a forearm.
I'm sorry, that is the announcer's curse. As soon as I say something cool, something bad happens for somebody.
Lowcock back in from the penalty box, fighting with the back wall of Naptown defense. You know, I have to say, Kak, the way that this game started relatively suddenly, I kind of feel the chaos out there on the track. Kind of like I feel it a little bit here at the announcer's bench too. It's like this thing started really fast, and there have been a number of penalties since the game started, you know, just a couple of jams ago. We're a little over 10 minutes into the game. Definitely very fast paced, a lot of action. A little bit difficult to keep up with, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. We're now to a 10-point deficit. We already had a tie earlier. But as you can see, there's like little bits. All it takes is just a little bit of a mistake. A power jam or loading up the penalty box with your blockers is going to cause the other team to capitalize. And Naptown is fantastic at capitalizing.
Yeah, there's an official timeout right now. Looks like officials making sure everything's ready to go. We've got a power start about to happen in jam number 10. That's Diamond with the star for Naptown. And of course, Lowcock sitting in the penalty as the pivot turn jammer from the last jam. Diamond able to sneak up the inside line, lead jammer status established for the Naptown Tornado Sirens. Chancletta coming back in from the box for Dublin's defense. Diamond, wow, just such a strong move through the pack. Able to keep feet in bounds.
Great agility and just waddling along the straightaway into turn number 3.
Yeah, absorbing that impact, keeping feet in bounds and picking up all 4 points. Already back around for another scoring pass for Naptown.
Well, look how quick Dublin wraps themselves to the front of the pack. As Diamond was coming through, they just enveloped around her, especially number 90, Lana Payne. Force her back to recycle, and looks like they're going to do a second. That was a huge, huge hit by Pippa, and Diamond's just going to call it off there. But those points regain back 29-31, Scar.
Yeah, nice pickup there for the Naptown Tornado Sirens. Of course, Naptown is coming into this game the more highly ranked team. So Naptown right now ranked at number 28 in the WFTDA. Dublin ranked number 38. So about 10 ranking spots between these two teams. But Dublin just having a great weekend and a great showing for the start of 2019, much like Naptown, undefeated so far this weekend.
And back on the line, rocking the star for Naptown is Will Smith. For Dublin, Gemerald. And Gemerald is going to take the lead for this one.
We've got a 2-point game. Dublin established lead jammer status as Gemerald coming around on a scoring pass. Will Smith still working on the initial for Naptown. Gemerald takes a bump to the inside line and a long reset behind the pivot. Cherry to fire.
And a great team by Malibu, Stacy, Chancletta, and it looks like Maniha just taking turns on shots on Will Smith. First knocked them out of bounds before turn number 1. Will Smith got back in, and they just kept taking turns, recycling around each other, each getting a hit, and Will Smith knocking them off their skates just ever so slightly.
Naptown loses the pivot, Cherry to fire to the penalty box as Gemerald picks up another scoring pass, first scoring pass on the jam, I guess, for Dublin, coming around for the second scoring pass now. Just one more to beat. That's Teeth in the front, along with Captain Micah. 4 more points go up for Gemerald. That's 8 so far on the jam. And star in hand, Will Smith able to make it out of the pack on the initial pass for Naptown.
And trying to envelop around, and that's also number 51, Micah.
3 points the pickup on that final pass for Gemerald. So a total of 11 on the jam, holding Naptown scoreless.
Yeah, we're almost at the very end of the first quarter of this game. And as you mentioned, it's very fast-paced action that we're seeing. A lot of them riding out as long as they can with these jams instead of having just those short, brief jams and closing off, trying to gain as much momentum and create the biggest point spread they can. And that's what Dublin needs. They're more focused on that point spread than just having also a big win.
Nice knockout on dashing Trudy Snow at the back of the pack by Naptown's defense. Trudy takes off the helmet cover as lead jammer status is established by Scorpiopathic and the Naptown Tornado Sirens. If you're just joining us, welcome. Naptown in black, Dublin in white.
Fun fact over here by Banshee. Did you realize Dublin's score is the answer to the Hitchhiker's Galaxy?
Life, the universe, and everything, right?
and Derby is life. But in the meantime, Scorpiopathic picking up 4 points as the lead for Naptown.
Trudy Snow out on the initial pass for Dublin, going to be able to stop the bleeding on this. Scorpiopathic already back into the pack for the second scoring pass for Naptown. Makes it up almost to the front there, calls off the jam with 3 points for the Tornado Sirens. So that's a total of 7 on the jam.
And it almost seems like compared to the first 7 minutes of this game, they finally got their grounding, both teams, and we're seeing a lot less penalties than compared to even the first 3 jams that we had.
It's amazing we're seeing such a fast game, though. I mean, it feels like it must have been the strategy coming in for these teams because it's the 4th game of the weekend for both of these teams. Totally nuts to play such a high-intensity game here at the end of a tournament.
And also, both teams missing an hour of sleep.
Yeah, like all of us.
But they're still powering through because, as we know, the only time that is for anyone in Derby is what's on the clock. The real-world time does not exist.
Yeah, time kind of stops at tournaments anyway. So Roulette Wheels out with the star for Naptown, taking on Thea for Dublin.
And looks like that is number 3, Valdemar, heading to the box.
And Roulette Wheels has picked up lead jammer status for Naptown. Coming around on a scoring pass now as a successful star pass on the Dublin side.
And that is the Staba,
the birthday girl. So 3 more points going up for Naptown, bringing their score up to 39. It's a 3-point game, 39-42, as we hit 13 minutes left on the period 1 clock.
And now coming up to bat, Will Smith alongside Green Halakuni. Will Smith backing up towards the very beginning of turn number 4. Look like getting ready for a little bit of a speed boost.
Nice clear on the outside line, but Will Smith takes a big hit out of bounds on the outside. I did not see which blocker that was, but it was brutal.
Yeah, brutally low cock. Recycling almost the exact same spot that Will Smith started off this jam. Green Halakuni able to make the great escape, taking the big LJ.
So Will Smith still working on the initial pass, stuck on the back wall of Dublin defense. Hasn't taken the star off yet, but able to make it out on the initial pass for Naptown.
Green Halakuni now trying to swim, was really trying to favor that inside of the pack, then went to the outside to cut through the center. Able to pick up, I believe that's 3 points, which is difficult from our angle because the flesh of the color of flesh of the referee's fingers match that of the background.
Yeah, there's like a deserty background back there.
That is the first lead jam for Dublin in 6 jams.
Interesting. So Dublin ahead on the scoreboard, but Naptown, I guess, dominating the lead jammer calls so far in the first period.
And a big shout out to one of our other sponsors. As I hear this, our awesome house announcers doing the same one. Why be flat when you can sparkle, Scar? You know why? Because it's refreshingly natural polar seltzer. It has no calories, no sodium, no sugars, no sweeteners, and no gluten. Hashtag Polar Derby.
And I can let you know a little bit more about some of the other recognized tournaments that are coming up this year. Of course, this is the first one kicking things off, Lobster Roll in Wilmington, Massachusetts. But skipping down to like April, May area, we've got Coastal Chaos, Southern Discomfort, K-Town Shakedown. We've got the Big O coming up in May, Flat Track Fever, Midwest Brouhaha, and Besterns. Tons of WFTDA recognized tournaments coming up. You can find out more at WFTDA.com/events.
And that is a timeout being called by Naptown for a little bit of a break here, trying to get that reset. They are only a mere 6 points down as they were with that previous jam, and that is going to call up Scorpiopathic, going to go skate to skate against Gemerald. And that is a full house on the flat track. No one sitting in the box.
Violent Bob looking for a track cut there, but Scorpiopathic picking up lead jammer status for Naptown. It looks like Gemerald still fighting through on the initial pass. Takes the star off now, looking for the pivot.
Dublin's blockers, look at that formation. But Will Smith is just pushing a three-woman pack. Scorpiopathic pushing up a three-skater pack to the turn 2, able to get through, and will pick up a full 4 points.
Nice, so we're back to a 2-point game here, 43-45 in favor of Dublin. 11 minutes left to play on the first period clock. I see the benches have calmed a bit, which is nice. Back under control, and just one in the box right now.
I like a hand gesture. It's like the reverse Boston Massacre, the reverse pinch, ringing it together.
We've brought it in.
The crab. Oh, it's the crab. Oh. That's like an inverted crab.
So Diamond with the star for Naptown, taken on Dashing True to Snow, who got knocked out to the outside line in a long recycle there behind Naptown's defense. A star pass in progress for Dublin as Diamond hits the back of the pack, able to make it through.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of a nice...
a tippy-toe approach around Lana Payne. Lana Payne stuck out the hips like just enough, but Diamond able to tippy-toe her way around.
So that's a lead change. Naptown at 47 now, Dublin at 45. 10 minutes left on the period clock.
And this is what we're going to expect for the next 40 minutes of this game.
And that is our tornado siren in honor of the Naptown tornado siren lead change. Yeah, kind of, it's a sound that if you've ever lived in an area that has tornadoes, actually.
Oh, there are no tornadoes? Sorry, I'm hiding under the table. Let me get out
yeah,
here.
Yeah, right.
All right, we're back to the action here. Will Smith rocking that star for Naptown. Thea for Dublin. And Thea breaks loose, going to take that lead. Naptown losing another blocker to the box. That is Micah.
Micah, the captain for Naptown Tornado Sirens. Thea coming in for points now, meets up with the front wall of Naptown defense. Thea just 2 more to beat up there. That's number 7, Dora, with number 07, Chariot of Fire. Nice blocking work up at the front of the pack. 2 veteran skaters up there making things happen. Knocks Thea out of bounds.
Great work by Dora Destroyer, but we are getting that star pass. And that is the 07, Jerry.
Yeah, Chariot of Fire taking a number of star passes this weekend for the Jammers of Naptown. Another lead change. So Dublin back on top, 49-47. Under 9 minutes left on the period clock for period 1. And it looks like teeth in the box for Naptown.
All right, I believe that is the 3rd lead change we had. Yeah. And it's just going to keep going and going and going.
Scorpiopathic with the star for Naptown.
And Green Hollow Cooney for Dublin.
Ooh, Green Hollow takes a knock to the inside line, kind of gets sat down up at corner 1. Scorpiopathic still pushing at the back wall of Dublin. They've got her kind of isolated back there in the back.
Green Hall again in the very front of the pack with the rest of Naptown. Finally, they end up splitting up, and that is because we have a penalty assist to one of their blockers. Gave her the lead stats. Pack now moving pretty steadily fast through turn number 2.
Crash into you. The pivot for Naptown has accepted the star. Coming around on a scoring pass right now, so that's going to put the pressure on for Green Hall to get this called off. Looks, how many points we got there? Don't think we've seen points go up for for Dublin yet. There they go. No points for either team on that jam. So 0-0 jam. Dublin's going to stay in the lead with 2 points over Naptown on the scoreboard. 7.5 minutes left to play. Roulette Wheels taking the star for Naptown up against number 16, Gemerald for Dublin.
2 in the box for Dublin, 1 for Naptown. Again, starting to pick up a number of penalties of that last jam. And great job, Maneha, recycling that Roulette Wheels.
Gemerald pushing at the front, able to make it past the Naptown defense for lead jammer status. Dirty Niece Louise coming out of the penalty box for Dublin as Roulette Wheels coming around on a scoring pass, going to put some pressure on for Gemerald to call this off. Getting the instruction from the bench, but a little bit of a late call off there. It was 3-2 in favor of Dublin.
Yeah, Violent Bob going out there just to get some clarification with our officials. But another quick shout out to one of the awesome sponsors that were here Saturday, and I have the privilege of living in New England to get to see often, and that's Brews Boutique, who is the world's largest Derby store. Made for Derby by Derby. Check them out at brewsboutique.com.
So just 3 points separating the two teams. We've got about 6 minutes left to play on the period clock. That's dashing Trudy Snow with the star for Dublin, making it through the inside line, lead jammer status, going to the Dublin All-Stars.
Diamond, just so agile, quick on her feet, again getting knocked around, spinning counterclockwise, but able to stay up on her wheels. Still in motion, but that door is going to get shut down with a 4-0 for Dublin. Now bringing that 56-49.
So out to jam next for Naptown. That's Scorpiopathic taking on Thea for Dublin.
We got 2 in the box for Naptown, 1 for Dublin.
Yeah, it's definitely a light pack out there. Moving back towards the jammer line. Scorpiopathic gets knocked out by Voldemort.
Yeah, both jammers tried to favor that outside line, but because we had Dublin's defense towards the back, close to that jammer line, they were able to get to her even quicker. And with that, Thea will take that lead jam, come around. Pack still hung up at turn number 1.
Scorpiopathic is out and eligible to score now as well as Thea tries to dance up the inside line. Isn't able to stay in bounds, picks up 2 points for the efforts, and then has to get the jam called off as Scorpiopathic approaching the back of the pack.
And with that, we're under the 5-minute mark with our first half. I want to thank you again for joining us here at WFTD TV on Twitch here for the first ever Lobster Roll 2019. We're here at the Aleppo Shriners Auditorium, Wilmington, Massachusetts, in Greater Boston. Thank you, Boston Roller Derby, for hosting this great event.
And that's Roulette Wheels with the star for Naptown.
Yep, and Greenhall Cooney leaned shoulder to shoulder right up nice and snug against her. And look how quick Naptown's defense came right back and right into that fray there. Number 53, RG Bargy, trying to break it up. Both jammers are out and on the loose. Lead jam is going to Naptown.
Yeah, entering the pack right at the same time, but Dublin's defense was set up in the back there, so Naptown had the advantage of getting some points picked up, but it looks like Dublin has picked up 1 point.
And we're still waiting for our awesome jam official.
Yeah,
0.
no points. Oh, wow, shocker. So Dublin able to steal a point there with no lead jammer status.
And that's going to put us at a perfect 10 deficit. And a quick shout out to our officials as well. Our NSOs for this one, Shirley Temple, Gluten Freedom, Pussy Panzerfaust, Queen Kictoria, Julia Cesia, Ziggy Stardust, Riff Raff, Derriere, and Marilyn Manson.
So Gemerald already picked up lead jammer status for Dublin in this jam. Diamond with a knock to the inside line and a long reset. Still working on the initial pass for the Tornado Sirens, and it looks like a track cut is being called on Gemerald. So power jam now, and a great opportunity for Naptown to close this 10-point gap on the scoreboard. Diamond still working on the initial pass though for Naptown right now. Hasn't been able to make it out to get eligible to put some points up yet.
And Malibu Stacy tag teaming with Voldemort, keeping the complete lockdown on Diamond, which is a rare thing to see, especially in this game so far.
So Diamond has passed the star to crash into you, the pivot for Naptown. No, there was an attempt at that, but it looks like Diamond has the star, puts it back on, coming around on a scoring pass now for Naptown, right as Gemerald is released from the box.
Yep, crashing to you, getting called on a penalty, reporting to that box, and a attempted apex jump, but playing smart dirty, being track aware, will recycle back Gemerald, avoiding a track cut call.
Diamond with a long reset behind number 95, Maniha. Gemerald makes it out, completing a scoring pass. 4 points go up for Dublin.
Gemerald now approaching the pack on turn number 1, attempting an opener on the outside. Yes, a little bit of a bump, but stayed up on the toe stops. Brings in another 4 for Dublin.
Yeah, and it looks like Diamond really having some trouble with that back wall of Dublin defense. Just 2 skaters back there, number 3, Voldemort, and number 95, Maniha, two really formidable defensive players for Dublin. So a little bit of a bummer of a jam for Naptown there. They were able to put up 4 points. Dublin, though, with a 12-point pickup. So 53-71 our score with a minute and a half left on the period clock.
Valdemar went to that box actually for a direction and gameplay. But again, when we're talking about the official scar, tell us about our awesome referees.
Sure, we got skating officials for this game in Jill. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Jill? Okay, strong female character, Don Scorleone, Reverend Riot, Ridiculix, Recordian, Wicked Pizza, and Decrypt Keeper.
Decrypt Keeper. Ooh-ah. And we have an official review being called by Naptown.
So I'd like to say thanks to Blood and Thunder magazine, because life's better on roller skates. You can check them out online at bloodandthundermag.com.
And when we did that official rundown, I want to say a big shout out again. Thank you to all our officials. We've had a bunch coming not only around America, but from overseas joining us here from Europe. But let's talk especially about Marlon Manson, our part of our NSO staff. Right now, this is Marlon Manson's 100th game.
Very cool. It's quite the landmark in an official's career. And such a cool contribution to the sport of roller derby.
Absolutely, always appreciate it. And the tough part, I believe, for any of us is keeping track. I can't count past 7, so I don't know how many I've done personally. But we really appreciate it. And that's what the love and the family of derby is all about. You stick with it, and you get hooked into it, and you're here for life.
Mm-hmm. All right, looks like we're about to get back underway. We've got Will Smith with the star for Naptown, taking on Dashing Trudy Snow for Dublin.
And it looks like Naptown lost the official review. Waiting to see if we get some information on it. Not too sure if they're using it as a burn, to burn for a timeout. That's a possibility, but we'll get that information for you as soon as possible, Scar.
Will Smith has picked up lead jammer status for Naptown, coming around for points. 2 Dublin blockers at the back of the pack. Will Smith makes quick work of that. Dashing Trudy Snow out for the initial pass as well, and it looks like Will Smith trying to slow Trudy down a little bit. Of course, Will Smith in control of the clock here. Oh, Will Smith knocks Trudy out and tries for the run back. Eat the baby in progress here. And Will Smith has to book it to get away from the Dublin defense.
But now Dashing Trudy Snow is stuck into the pack that wrapped around of Naptown.
Yeah, so a successful baby eating there, Kak.
It's very rare do I see the pack catch up, and it worked. Very successful.
Big hit on Will Smith on the outside line. It's going to be a long reset there behind Dublin. Dashing Trudy Snow still working on the pass where she was reabsorbed back into the pack by Naptown's defense.
Jam 23 was already the highest score in Jam. 12 points for Gemerald.
So right now, though, Naptown, Will Smith sitting on 4 points.
We're getting a direction gameplay, and that is going to go on Chan Quenta.
So Will Smith completes that second scoring pass, going to end the jam with 8-0 on the board for Naptown, closing the gap back to 10 points as we head into halftime, Kak.
Yeah, and again, it was a great back and forth. We're probably going to be seeing even more of that, even with this 10-point deficit. I wouldn't be surprised if we might see a couple more lead changes coming up. But just a quick shout out to our awesome sponsor, New England Roller Derby Report. Would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath, SEWCIOPATH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armbands, helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. And be aware, team discounts are absolutely available. So check out sociopath.ca for more details.
All right, well, we are at halftime. We've got about 14 minutes counting down on the clock, so we will be back with you shortly. Welcome back to Lobster Roll 2019. We are here at game number 7 of this weekend's tournament, Dublin versus Naptown. And Dublin, in spite of having the lower rank CAC, coming in on top, coming out of halftime. My name is Scar Trek.
And I am the CAC. And being joined by our awesome producer, Beautiful Banshee, also our tournament head announcer.
And New England Roller Derby Report wants to be sure to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. That's SEWCIOPATH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals, size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armbands and helmet cover options for scrimmages and competition. Team discounts are available, so see them online at sociopath.ca for more details.
And of course, we have to thank our head tournament announcer here, Beautiful Banshee, on our production. Never gets enough love, so I have a special gift for her. It's actual sesame organic corn thins, because everyone should eat. And that way we can keep the flow going, the fuel inside of us.
Corn-fueled announcer team. Back underway on the track, though. That's Will Smith with the star for Naptown, taking on Gemerald for Dublin.
And Will Smith is straight out of that pack. Going to take the lead jam right now. And also, Gemerald able to get through as well. Pack pulling all the way back to the pivot line.
Will Smith takes a bump to the inside line, has to reset there, but probably some points picked up. Naptown losing 1 to the penalty box. And Gemerald working on just 1 to beat up front. That's Micah. 4 points going up for both jammers as they exit the pack at the same time. Micah headed to the penalty box. So Naptown at a big disadvantage right now going into the next jam. 2 blockers sitting in the penalty box. It's going to be a 4-2 pack advantage for Dublin.
75-65. And even when we were looking at the penalties, that like so much was happening at the very beginning of this game here. A total so far going into the halftime here, we have 17 to Dublin, 16 to Naptown. So it's pretty much about evened out, yeah.
Yeah, and not too many power jams that I can recall from the first period. It definitely wasn't the story of the first period by any stretch. But back underway for the second jam of period 2, we've got Scorpiopathic with the star for Naptown up against Green Alcuni for Dublin.
Grant Howe was the MVP of the previous game that they played. Still showing off the great jamming skills. Very fast, always stays low. And able to find that opening, you see it just cleanly gets through that pack, going to pick up a 4 for Dublin.
Scorpiopathic able to clear on the initial pass for Naptown, so able to come around for some points, put some pressure on. Green, though, approaching the back of the pack and making it through, picking up points as she calls off the jam.
Getting a hit into the infield. And when you said even how the penalties are very much equal and the score is very close with each other, again, what it comes down to is the blockers. And the more you get like rotating in and out, that's what's giving those openings for the teams to go back and forth and try to outscore. And we've had those couple of lead changes between the teams.
So out to jam next, it's Diamond, number 123 for Naptown, taking on number 800 Thea for Dublin.
And it's a full house on the flat track. Diamond trying to get into that center between Valdemort and number 74 Staba.
So Diamond isolated way back at the back of the pack. Naptown bridged out in the front with their defense against Thea. Both jammers stuck on tough walls though right now.
Diamond recycling back through that infield, taking another shot, able to break the branches. Again, Dublin block is so fast trying to recycle around, but Diamond able to power her way through, will pick up the lead, and not too far behind is Thea.
Yeah, just about 10 feet, 20 feet between the two jammers. Dublin losing Malibu Stacy to the penalty box. Big impact as Diamond hits the back of the pack. No points picked up, but she does get the jam called off, holding Dublin scoreless as well on that jam.
Big shout out, especially to Diamond. Throughout this entire tournament, seeing a wonderful performance. It's that speed mixed with power that defines how Diamond's style. It's a little bit more unique because she's not a very tall. She's short but low to the ground, but she's got a lot of force. When she comes in, she comes to hit instead of just juking around all the time, but great agility as well. Yeah,
really explosive power from Diamond, the jammer for Naptown. But out with the star right now for the Tornado Sirens, that's Will Smith, taking on Dashing Trudy Snow for Dublin. Lead jammer going to Naptown, but Trudy just right on the heels of Naptown's jammer.
Pack hanging up around the apex between 1 and 2.
Dublin had their defense in the back there, so Will Smith able to give it a shot to pick up some points. I think able to pick up 1 there on the jam and get the thing called off before Trudy made it into the pack for points. Naptown protecting their points up at the front of the pack like you want to see from the defense in that situation. But out to jam next, it's Scorpiopathic, number 237 for Naptown, up against Gemerald, number 16 for Dublin.
Scorpiopathic hugging that very tight corner of turn number 4. Kind of giving a look like she was going over the outside and then try to juke towards the center. Dublin able to capitalize upon her. And Gemerald finding that open and taking the lead. Meanwhile, we got Scorpiopathic getting recycled behind Valdemort at turn 4.
Yeah, nice drawback there on Scorpiopathic. Just 2 more to beat at the front of the pack, but Dublin's defense so tenacious, knocks out Scorpiopathic once again in a long drawback by Maniha.
Scorpiopathic stashing that star, trying to find that opening through the inside, and was able to do so. But yes, there was a track cut, did step into the infield. We're going to have a power jam for Dublin here, Scar.
Yeah, that's going to give them a chance to open it up. Already 21 points between the two teams as Gemerald puts up 4 more.
Pack now hang out, opening being cleared out for Dublin. And trying to charge in on the sides.
Naptown gets the defense moving, but a little friendly fire there. It looks like Gemerald takes a knock to the outside line, and it's going to be a long reset behind the pivot. Crash into you for Naptown.
Definitely burning down that penalty clock. Naptown waiting for Scorpiopathic, who's just been released from the box.
Gemerald finds the inside line on the scoring pass for Dublin. 4 more points, so that's, I think, 16 on the jam so far for Dublin.
And now Scorpiopathic on that initial pass. Gemerald getting pushed to the outside of the straightaway. Locks eyes immediately with Scorpiopathic and going to call that one up. 95-66.
Yeah, I think I awarded an extra scoring pass there by accident. It was only 12 on the power jam for Dublin, but holding Naptown scoreless. So a big pickup for the squad from Dublin.
Now coming up at 00 roulette wheels for Naptown alongside number 23, Green Halakuni.
So Dublin with the defense set up in the back. Naptown hanging out in the front. Roulette wheels goes for the outside line, but meets up with Dublin's defense. Tough wall at the back of the pack there. Nice drawback by Iggy Impalia of Naptown.
Green Hall colliding there with Iggy Impalia and then does a nice little zip around her on the left side. And finds that opening on the outside, will claim that lead.
Dublin loses a blocker to the penalty box as Roulette Wheels able to find a path through on the initial pass. Green Halkuni coming up for points now. Naptown's defense set up at the front of the pack, coming into corner 2. Getting some instruction to call the jam off from the bench.
And Talented staying on one skate backwards and keeping that balance, taking that 4. And as you see, as she was just cutting into that pack, Dublin's defense becomes that offensive charge, what they were known for, but they come in and they broke up Naptown's blocking brigade there, able to get Green Hal through, picking up those 4.
Yeah, and that's going to be 33 points now separating the two teams, 22 minutes left to play in the game. And Naptown has been scoreless for the last 2 jams. Out with the star now, it's Will Smith up against Thea. One in the box for Dublin. Will Smith looking for that inside line.
Yeah, Thea zipping back and forth. Getting towards the edges, but then tries to see if she can find an opening through the very center of the pack, trying to do a crisscross through diagonally.
Nice job on defense for both of these squads. Teeth with the knockout to the inside line, saving the day as Thea almost had that inside line cleared. Will Smith pushing at the front, all three Dublin blockers in a tripod up there. Will Smith just one more to beat up at the front, able to make it around the inside line. Lead jammer status going to the Tornado Sirens.
Get knocked to the infield, recycle back is Thea. Already meeting Will Smith, who's done the initial pass and does a little bit of a twirl through the outside. It's going to pick up 4 for Naptown.
Dublin lost one blocker to the penalty box, and it looks like a star pass in progress for Dublin. That's Maniha with star in hand and a nice apex jump by Will Smith for another 4 points. That's already 9 points, 8 points on the jam so far.
And it looks like, I think we have a official star pass, and yes, it is. That went to Maniha on Dublin. Oh, what a hit into.
Yeah, big pile up over there on the outside line.
But as tough as they are getting back up, I sometimes wonder if skaters are actually superhuman.
It's all that adrenaline pumping. Otherwise, just a bunch of whiny babies. No, not usually. Usually. Oh,
I thought you were talking about me.
Yeah.
I bruise just watching them get hit. All right, and then coming up to that jammer line, number 83, Dashing Trudy Snow, going against a 2-3-7 Scorpio Pathic.
Yeah, an official is having a little chat. Finally, some points go up for Naptown there. Looks like 2 were added to the score for Will Smith. So it's going to be a jam total of 10 points, holding Dublin scoreless, bringing this game within 23 points.
And I don't know where you get your skatewear, Scar, but I don't know if you're familiar with Wicked Skatewear. Everyone should be, because they are your source for roller skates, gear, and apparel since 2007. And you can check them out where?
At wickedskatewear.com.
Bookmark that. And one thing I do love absolutely about the first ever lobster roll here, everyone's still having a good time. They got full of energy. When they say, oh, we lost hours of sleep, bah, shrug it off. Here, more action. Always got the good feels, good love between all these teams here.
All these teams very closely ranked, and we knew that we were going to come and see some great derby this weekend, and it is totally delivered. But out to jam next, Scorpio Pathic for Naptown up against Dashing Trudy Snow for Dublin. Scorp pushing at the front wall. Trudy stuck on the back wall of Naptown's defense, takes off the star as Scorpio Pathic is awarded lead jammer status for Naptown.
And the Iggy and Palia forcing that recycle back through the infield.
Yeah, Iggy was the MVP yesterday evening for Naptown. Such a standout blocker for the Tornado Sirens. Scorpio Pathic already threw for a scoring pass. 4 points on the board for Naptown in this jam already. Trudy still, well, I guess it's not Trudy anymore. Star has been passed to the pivot for Dublin, able to complete the initial pass and put some pressure on. Scorp gets a bump out of bounds to the outside line, decides to call the jam with just 3 more points getting added to the board for Naptown. That brings us within, what is that, 16 points?
16. Well,
tentative math?
You know who you're talking to me, math, never once.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that was the brutally low cock of Dublin was their pivot. But now coming back up to the line is Diamond, going to go skate to skate against Gemerald.
Yeah, definitely 2 really different jamming styles on these 2 jammers right now. Diamond looks for the outside line, gets it. Quick lead jammer before she even reaches the pivot line. Going to Naptown. Gemerald still caught on the defense up in the front for Naptown. Able to sneak around the outside line, complete the initial pass for Dublin. Diamond already threw on a scoring pass, though, getting some instruction from the bench to call that jam off. So a quick 4-0 jam, bringing the gap between these 2 teams together even more. I think that's, I always get.
Yeah, And on the replay here, a quick dodge, like you see the juke that Diamond does coming in right here. You're going to see just a quick juke, turn sideways, stays inbounds, great track awareness.
And there's been some great momentum for Naptown, holding Dublin scoreless for the last 3 jams, closing that score gap and getting themselves back into this game. Looks like we got under 18 minutes left to play. Out with the star for Dublin, that's Green Halcooney up against Will Smith for Naptown. Will Smith able to find a line up the outside. Lead jammer status going to the Tornado Sirens.
Yep, Will Smith getting jiggy with it, coming around and meeting the pack right at the pivot line. Green Halcooney working that initial pass. Blockers are now starting to fill up the box. 2 for Naptown, 1 for Dublin.
So Will Smith getting the instruction from the bench to let this run, but I don't think Naptown's defense was quite ready for that. Green Halcooney able to get an easy pass there, 4 more points. Oh, and a track cut called on Will Smith, so bummer of a move to let that jam run in that case.
Yeah, Will Smith did take a step out after getting quite the bump. That was actually from 575 Pippa. But now power jam as we enter past that century mark with Dublin. And now that's 2 officially to the box for Naptown. Full stack for Dublin.
Dublin's got a Naptown player isolated at the back of the pack. And Green Halcooney able to put up an easy 4 points. That's already 12 on the jam for Dublin.
And that is Cherry for Naptown going to the box. Meanwhile, Will Smith released coming in. Dublin set and poised.
Yeah, Will Smith coming out of the box, looking for a pass right away. Already scored 4 points in the jam so far. Had lead jammer status, of course, before heading into the box. 20 points now, though, on the board for Dublin in this jam.
Green Hal, little zip, finds that inside, picks up an additional 4. Green Hal on a roll.
Wow, 24 points on this jam for Dublin. Incredible.
I believe that is the highest scoring jam thus far. Ball jammers cautiously, quietly recycling back. Seeing the, looking up at the jam clock, seeing it wind down, just saying, you know what, instead of having a race, let's just wear it down. Let's gain our energy and keep moving.
Yeah, that more than doubled the previously highest scoring jam in this game. So a huge pickup there for the Dublin A team. Definitely opened up the scoreboard. And you know, it's too bad because I saw the Naptown bench tell Will Smith to keep that jam running, and man, did that go wrong. I mean, it's always a gamble, you know, and a lot of times it's a really good idea to keep jams running when you're behind and you have lead jammer status. But in that case, Naptown's defense was very much depleted, not prepared to deal with Green Halcooney.
And with that, we have a quick timeout being called by Naptown. Want to thank again Boston Roller Derby hosting the first ever lobster roll. This is a very historic day because once again, you know, this is the first ever lobster roll. This is the first of the WFTA recognized tournaments of 2019. This is where the road truly begins for a lot of these teams trying to make it towards the 2019 playoffs. And you'll see more of not only these teams but others in many of the recognized tournaments coming up, including one I'm going to be going to, Siege of Central New York, coming up April 13th, 14th in Rome, New York.
And then we got Skate to Thrill in St. Charles, Missouri. That's April 13th and 14th as well. So double recognized tournaments that weekend.
Absolutely. And of course, overseas, West Track Story number 7, April 20th through the 21st in France. And that is hosted by none other than, and I'm going to butcher this.
Nantes? I don't know.
I'm American. I apologize. Please message me anywhere on Facebook or social media. Help me learn your language.
Banshee just kind of nods her head. And back underway, though. Scorpiopathic with the star for Naptown, taking on Thea for Dublin. Thea smacks right through the middle of that pack, picks up lead jammer status for Dublin. So Thea coming around for a scoring pass, able to hop over the defense on the inside line for 4 points. Scorpiopathic has the star in hand right now, looking for pivot, crash into you. Oh, and the cap falls. Scorpiopathic with a high block. Head block, I think we call those these days. So another power jam opportunity here for Dublin. And as we cross over into the fourth quarter of the game, this is definitely not what Naptown needs. This is looking like it could be another upset for the rankings. And once again, our only other upset so far this weekend, Dublin was responsible for that rankings upset. So headed towards another one right now, but we will see if Naptown able to recover from these two big power jam opportunities for Dublin late in the game.
Naptown coming in with a 3-0. And right now, being released from back, Scorpiopathic. They are still pick up an additional 4 points for Dublin, but don't count Naptown out, especially those weirdos. And by that, I mean at Whiskey Chaser saying those weirdos are my teammates, and I love them so much. And let me tell you, seeing them live is fantastic, and even more so an honor to be able to call one of their great games.
Yeah, Naptown has been such an impressive team this weekend. I think we mentioned at the beginning of the game that they're coming into this game undefeated so far this weekend. This is their fourth and final game of the day, hoping to avoid that rankings upset because I think there are about 10 ranking points between these two teams. We've got Naptown at 28, Dublin at 38. So certainly with Dublin leading by about 45 points right now.
And coming up for this jam here, Dash and Judy Snow for Dublin and Roulette Wheels for Naptown. And we have a full house in the flat track, 5-on-5 pack action.
Trudy takes a bump to the inside line, and that's going to open the door for Roulette Wheels. Lead jammer status up the outside line for Naptown Tornado Sirens. A little bit of chaos as Roulette Wheels approaches the back of the pack. Dashing Trudy So still stuck on Naptown's defense at the front, and Roulette Wheels completes a scoring pass for the Tornado Sirens.
Dublin losing the pivot to the box. And Dashing Trudy Snow finally out of the pack. Working the initial pass, the pack into the straightaway to turn number 3. And the Roulette Wheels is going to snap up 4 points for Naptown.
So it looks like they're going to let this run. Ooh, big impact there as Dashing Trudy Snow approaches the back of the pack. It looked like one of Naptown's blockers fell right in front of Trudy. 2 points picked up by Trudy at the end of that jam. No additional points going up for Naptown, so it was 8-2 on the jam, bringing Naptown up over the century mark. We've got 103 to 142 in favor of Dublin, 12 minutes left to play.
And this next jam coming up, number 13. We're going to start with the pivot in the box for Dublin, but we're going to have a quick timeout with the officials here.
Yeah, and can let you know about a couple of more of the sponsors that we'd like to thank this weekend. MA, as in Massachusetts Foot and Ankle Specialist, treating all patients with the most exceptional care. You can visit their website at mafootandAnkle.com for more information. Thank you for your support of the 2019 Lobster Bowl.
And now coming back up to the line here, we are going to have Gemerald versus Will Smith.
One in the box for Dublin. That's the pivot number 53, Argy Bargy. Nice shirt whip for Will Smith on the pivot for Naptown, able to get lead jammer with that move. Gemerald also out of the pack and eligible to score for Dublin now.
Pack into the straightaway. And that is Iggy Pelia trying to clear a path through Dublin's defense.
Will Smith able to pick up 2 points and able to also get the jam called off before Dublin's jammer could make it into the pack to pick up any points of her own. So out to jam next for Naptown. It's number 237, Scorpiopathic.
And that is number 23, Green Hole Cooney.
Yeah, I've been so impressed by Green Hole Cooney this weekend. I mean, amazingly agile and seemingly never tires that jammer. It's amazing, the endurance. A bit of a pile up on the track involving Scorpiopathic and lead jammer status going to Green Hole.
Yeah, a couple of Naptown skaters almost both went out of bounds. They both threw their hands up like doing the Mexican wave on turn number 1.
Wow, nice move by Scorpiopathic. A good spin on the toe stops to make it through on the inside line, complete the initial pass for Naptown.
And Micah was able to force Green Hole Cooney back out, recycle back to the 4th, forcing her to call that off, picking up 3 points for Dublin.
Yeah, holding Naptown scoreless on that one. Looks like under 10.5 minutes left to play in the game. And don't forget, up next, we've got one final game this evening, Houston versus Sacramento. Houston, of course, coming in this weekend with the rank of number 32, Sacramento ranked number 42, so another game where we've got 10 ranking points, places, I guess, dividing the two teams. And out to jam next for Naptown, that's Diamond with a big impact at the start of the jam.
The force. And then Dublin was like, no, you're going outside. And she's got the force right, she's got the resuck behind Mania. Meanwhile, Thea is having a trouble of her own, battling the defensive line of Naptown.
So Diamond with a couple of knockouts to the outside line by Dublin's defense, but Thea having troubles of her own up there at the front.
This is great defense. Both these teams doing a fantastic job. And even as Thea's trying to press her way through, she has a couple of her teammates, and that includes number 74, Stava, trying to stab her way through that. But now she's going into a bridge position between the two packs.
Wow, just a total defensive lockdown right now out there. Neither jammer making too much progress, even with some offensive help.
A full minute on the jam clock has passed, and they still haven't even got into turn 2.
Yeah, no lead jammer established here. No points going up yet.
Just watch. It's like, as you can see, the pushing from between the packs. My eyes are glued to their skates and the position that they're putting foot. Whether they're using more of a side approach, trying to push, or going full toe stop and trying to lean all their weight forward. But they're able to get Diamond in the infield, recycling back behind Chancleta, almost all the way back to turn 3.
So Diamond knocked to the inside line. Thea getting knocked to the outside line. We are back behind the pivot line, so kind of some reverse progress here.
Yeah, this is great because these are two star jammers for their teams, and they can't get around. Everyone is like smiling and laughing and shaking their heads. Yeah, and we're winding down on that jam clock. That is it.
Wow.
They have not gone past. No one past turn 2.
Defense wins the jam, 0-0, and 40 points separating the two teams. Under 8 minutes left on the period clock.
Bookmark it, jam number 15 of this game. If you want to teach your teammates great defense, watch the details. Watch all the minute details of that jam.
Yeah, excellent just knockout run back on the side of both teams. And we've got a timeout charged to Dublin. So let's thank again our production sponsor this weekend for New England Roller Derby Report. We want to thank Sociopath, that's SEWCIOPATH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn to order legwear for teams and for individuals, size-inclusive activewear that's designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armbands and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available, so please visit them online at sociopath.ca for more details.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you say custom sewn to order legwear?
I did.
Well, my ears have perked up. And as me as the aficionado of a whole array of legwear, I will definitely be visiting sociopath.ca. I do need laser cats. Yes, our awesome producer, Boofa Banshee. She knows my taste. She speaks my language. But it has to be like the 80s school picture background lasers and the cats. That's how we do it.
So at the start of our next jam, we've got Will Smith with the star for Naptown taking on dashing Trudy Snow for Dublin. Trudy stuck on a back wall of Naptown defense, takes a knock to the outside line. And a nice run back there by number 84, Wham Bam.
And did spot that was a forearm call on number 5. That was Trudy Baucher.
Teeth headed out to the penalty box. The pivot for Naptown. Trudy's able to make it out and eligible to score now for Dublin. Will Smith gets pushed out of bounds. 3 points to pick up for Naptown as Will Smith calls off the jam. Under 7 minutes now on the period clock. This game is winding down, and there's about 40 points between the two teams. So this is the moment for Naptown to scream back into this game if they are going to do it.
And we have seen here at Lobstah that 5-minute mark at the end about things completely flipping on their head. So anything can absolutely happen here. As we have a Cherry for Naptown, Gemerald for Dublin, rocking the stars, 2 in the box for Naptown, recycling back behind Veldemort. Cherry, with a huge, got leveled up into the infield. Just kind of scooped her up with her hips and played her outside.
Cherry to Fire is someone who's received a lot of star passes this weekend, but hasn't started a whole lot of jams as the jammer for Naptown. Definitely an effective player, though. Very good on offense for Naptown. So working on the initial pass, almost out. Yep, she does make it out. Clear to score now for the Naptown Tornado Sirens, but Gemerald already threw on a scoring pass for Dublin.
Yeah, about 8 points so far in this jam. Gonna call that off now, bring it up 108 to 153.
Yeah, so a nice 8-0 jam for Dublin A team there. Under 6 minutes left to go. So number 237 taking the star for the next jam. That's Scorpiopathic. Up against number 23 for Dublin, Green Halkuni.
Greenhall getting pushed to the infield. Able to actually levitate herself in the air and put her skates back in. Did not go out of bounds. Takes an easy lead jam. Pack still stuck at the pivot line. Scorpiopathic digging away on the inside, but going into the infield, recycling back behind Lana Payne.
Yeah, Naptown losing a blocker to the penalty box. As Greenhall able to pick up 4 points. Scorpiopathic takes the star off of her helmet.
Yeah, but the pivot for Naptown into the penalty box now.
So Greenhall kind of taking it slow on the long reset there. Time is on the side of Dublin as these seconds tick down on the period clock. And Dublin losing the pivot to the penalty box. Green Halkuni completing another scoring pass for Dublin. That's already 8 points on the jam.
Some of that time was wound down by Langer and Wham Bam of Naptown, linking up together, trying to put a halt to Green Halkuni.
So Naptown still with 1 timeout, also with an official review here. So they do have a couple more stoppages of play that they can utilize to stop the period clock. And they do call a timeout after bleeding about 10 seconds off the period clock. So let's thank another sponsor, Keck.
Oh, well, I have to go to what's important to me, and that's my stomach, because I'm a hungry guy. But when I immediately looked at our sponsors, Cambridge School of Culinary Arts really rang a bell for me. They are offering professional culinary and pastry training programs, recreational cooking classes for all, and private cooking or baking classes for family parties and corporate events. So definitely visit CambridgeCulinary.com for more information. And I gotta tell you, Ed, if you're around here, hanging out here in the Boston area, definitely check out any small restaurants, any of the local establishments around places like the Culinary Arts. Why? Because it's those people that get the training that go and try out their new recipes there. So you'll get food you'll never get anywhere else.
Interesting. So lead jammer calls in the second half. It looks like Naptown has won 10, Dublin at 7, which is interesting because it doesn't always show up on the scoreboard, you know. But there have been some jammer penalties, especially on the Naptown side, that have really made the difference.
Diamond rocking star for Naptown, Thea for Dublin. Each got a pivot in the box for both teams.
Naptown has the defense set up in the back.
Watching Thea just doing a side-to-side, but very quick juking back and forth, trying to find that opening.
Diamond so strong, but takes a knock to the outside line. And it's going to be Thea picking up lead jammer status for Dublin.
Naptown defense to the front of the pack. Waiting for Thea, who comes around on the outside. And I do believe that's Teeth that is going to now officially accept that star pass on behalf of Naptown.
So Thea calling off the jam, preventing Naptown from picking up any points. A clean 4-0 jam in favor of Dublin, and we cross under 3 minutes left to play on the period clock.
And still that excitement being felt even by both these teams here, having a grand time. Once again, thank you, I can't say enough, to Boston Roller Derby for hosting the first ever Lobster Roll 2019, our first sanctioned tournament for WF2Day of the year, and the first one on Twitch, which you're joining us here for WF2Day TV.
Dashing Trudy Snow gets a knock out of bounds from Naptown's defense. Both jammers fighting here with tough defensive walls. That's Will Smith working up the front. These jammers have got to be tired at the end of 4 games in 2 days. Will Smith with a long run back.
Dashing Trudy Snow taking that lead. As you mentioned, just taking her time, not rushing it right now. Know that clock is winding down. They got a good point spread ahead.
Yeah, Dashing Trudy Snow able to sneak inside, outside, make it through the pack, pick up 4 points and get the jam called off, holding Naptown scoreless, opening up even more of a lead for Dublin Roller Derby. Under 2 minutes now on the period clock. We've got about 60 points between the two teams, our biggest differential in the game so far. Dublin just really in control of the second period.
Absolutely. Naptown not giving up, and as you see, it's not as penalty heavy as we saw with the first half here. Trying to get a little bit more in control, being more aware of where their body is, especially in positioning, and also their forearms as well, making sure they're not getting more of those forearm calls or even back blocks. But speaking of which, forearm call, and that is going to go on Gemerald. So now we have that power jam for Naptown.
Yeah, as the period clock goes under 1 minute, we've got a power jam opportunity for Naptown. Scorpiopathic with the star in hand, working on the initial pass for Naptown. Able to find a lane up the inside line. Puts the star back on, getting ready to come in for some points for Naptown.
Yeah, because now it comes to this, it's not going to be one of those amazing miracles. I mean, crazy things happen. Now it's about narrowing down that gap between the teams. It's about that point spread now is Naptown's focus.
Yeah, Scorpiopathic fighting at the front, but we've got 3 very, very tenacious Dublin blockers up at the front of the pack. And Gemerald already back in from the penalty box. Meets up with Iggy and Palia at the front of the pack. And Crash into you. Everyone kind of slowing down Gemerald, but not able to stop her. So
Scorpiopathic recycled to the infield. Everyone in that straightaway coming into turn number 3.
As the period clock goes under 5 seconds, looks like we are going to run this all the way on jam time. So we've got about 35 seconds left to go.
Yep, Gemerald doing a great job. I mean, wonderful blocking by Iggy and Palia, but Gemerald's great agility keeping her inbounds, going to pick up those points. And now it looks like we have a star patch to crash into you, Scott.
Yeah, crash into you, taking a lot of star passes this weekend for the Tornado Sirens. Gemerald completes a scoring pass.
Oh, no, that's a back block on Crash into you. And with the jam time remaining, power jam for Dublin.
Yeah, we've just got 7 seconds left on the jam clock right now. Gemerald able to spin around the outside line, pick up another scoring pass. Wow, big jam for Dublin to end this game. Looks like it's going to be a total of 16 points going up for Dublin. And Naptown using, 12 points it looks like. Official review at the end of the game here by Naptown's bench.
Be very interesting what they are looking at. But again, that was fantastic. And stick around because after this, Scar, you and I were going to be interviewing the MVPs for both these teams. And then we'll be winding it down to our final game, 6 p.m., Houston versus Sacramento.
Yeah, we've got one more exciting game coming at you from Lobster Roll 2019.
And when you're thinking about Houston beat Boston earlier, and then Sacramento with a surprise upset, just narrowly beating Dublin. So I'm very interested to see how these two teams are going to mash up today. And a quick shout out to some other unsung heroes. Not only do we have wonderful volunteers keeping the flow of this tournament, even though it's the first lobster roll, I didn't feel that many hiccups. I didn't even notice one. It was a nice flow to it. It's been wonderful. Everyone's done a great job. But we have to give credit where credit's due, and that's our awesome production team.
Yeah, New England Roller Derby Report bringing beautiful multi-camera, crystal clear broadcast feed to all of you watching. And we thank you for joining us. Let us know how you feel about the feed this weekend in the comments. We love to hear where you're watching from and how much you're enjoying a great weekend of action. I heard a swoopy whistle. It sounds like our result may be final. We will see.
Yep, we're about to get some information to our producer to see what happened there.
So I have to reiterate, I mean, Naptown came in looking very, very strong in this tournament. They're the top-ranked team coming in at number 28 in the WFTDA rankings. They won all of their games up until this last final game for them, and just had a great showing all around. You know, Naptown, a strong team, looking forward to a great 2019 season and seeing what they can do.
And they did officially lose that official review there. So our final score, Naptown Tornado Sirens 111, Dublin Roller Team. Dublin Roller Derby 181. It has been an exhausting but absolutely fun tournament here.
Yeah, we're going to bring you some MVP interviews coming up, so stay tuned for that.
And a quick shout out one last time to our sponsor, New England Roller Derby Report. We'd like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath, SEWCIOPATH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath offers dozens of armbands, helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see sociopath.ca for more details. And saying one more time goodbye, I am the CAC.
And I'm Scar Trek.
And with our awesome producer, beautiful Banshee, we will see you with the MVP interviews in a moment.
Hey Derby fans, we just wrapped up an amazing game between Dublin and Naptown. I'm here with the MVP from the Naptown Tornado Sirens, Diamond. Yeah. Here's your award. Congratulations. So you guys played 4 tough games this weekend. You came out on top in 3 of them. What was different about Dublin?
Their defense was just shutting it down. They were locking it down really, really tough. And for me anyway, that's what did it for me. Their defense was just killing the game.
Well, cool. That's nice. Props for Dublin defense over there. So tell me about the rest of your season. Are you guys looking forward to 2019? You had a great showing this weekend.
Yeah, we have a lot planned and scheduled and just going on, so we're just trying to keep up the positive momentum for it, and I think we're all pretty stoked for it. We love each other, so.
Yeah, it's really clear that you guys have a lot of fun everywhere you go. So congratulations on a great weekend. Congratulations on MVP, and we'll be back in just a minute with the Dublin interview.
And back here, I am the CAC, being joined by our MVP of the winning team for Dublin, Gemerald. Congratulations. Now, I need to know, coming into this game here, is your final game here at Lobstah Roll 2019. You're going against Naptown, which was 3-0. What were you doing to prepare for this game?
I mean, I just think as our 4th game of the weekend, even though obviously we've been getting tighter and tighter, but we've also been getting tighter and tighter. Everything that we've been practicing over the last few months has just been coming more and more together. And I think having had 3 games already this weekend has actually really helped us just get really tight.
And that was an exciting game to call there. But I'd like to know, I had a bunch of favorite moments. What was one of your favorite moments or memorable moments of that game?
And it had to be the 2-minute no lead jam where you had Thea pushing and pushing and pushing, and everybody stayed clean, everybody stayed out of the box, and that was great to watch. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't me out there.
It was one of the greatest displays of defense I've ever seen. But now you guys going to be heading home tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, most of us are flying on back to Dublin tomorrow, so yeah.
And any great memories you're taking away from the greater Boston area?
Oh, it's all been great. Love the snow.
Apparently so. This is like something you're not kind of used to, is all this snow.
We're used to the rain, but not really the snow. So.
Well, welcome to New England. Well, I just want to thank you again. One more shout out, Gemerald, your MVP here, and thank you, Dublin Roller Derby, for coming down. We really appreciate all of you.
Thanks for having us.